Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Up the Guts podcast. Yes, we are back, and the footy is finally back. Well, kinda. We only got the two matches, obviously round 0, but we're supposed to have the 4 matches happening. But obviously, Cyclone Alfred decided to have other things and want to disrupt the start to the season. But moving on from that, we did get the 2 matches. So let's start off with the first 2 matches. So it's going to be bit of a different setup this year. I'm going to be having my, just make sure the camera's all good. Yep. Just want to make sure I'm just going to get my guest episode. So when I'm interviewing guests, might be around sport. But I mean, they'll all have a link to sport in somewhat sense, but the conversation might not be predominantly about sport at the same time. So I'll be having them, but then also once a week, I'll be having my AFL content show like I'm doing right now, my weekly show, just where I do wrap up the round of footy, and then also going across the season, I'll be having people coming in and out as just special guests, like guest co-host to come along with me to do it. So that's exciting times, and then we'll just continually rolling the content out for you guys. Whether it's just me doing it or if I have someone next to me, there'll always be an episode out the week after that round, whether it will be on the Monday or the Tuesday, depending if I record the Sunday night straight after, depending on how late the game finishes, and if I have my notes prepared, because obviously my notes going into it the Sunday, say if it's like a Perth game, sometimes they don't finish till 7:38, so I might not have my notes, talking points from that game done, but as the latest date you'll have it is the Tuesday. Without further ado, let's get into the first game of the round, which was on Friday night, and it was Sydney v Hawthorn, and it was the Hawks who probably surprised a bit of people and continued on from the form that showed last year to show it wasn't just fake, and they got the job done by 20 points, 11-10-76, Sydney to Hawthorn's 14-12-96. Some of the goal kickers, so for the Swans, model goal kickers went to Amadi, 3. Warner also kicked 2. Multiple goal kicks for the Hawks. Will Day kicked 3, which is an interesting one. We'll talk about him in a second because we don't normally see him kick goals. Dylan Moore continued his form from 2024 with 2 goals. Lloyd Meek dominated Brodie Grundy in the ruck. We'll touch on that soon as well. He kicked 2. Leading disposal getters for each team, we have Matt Roberts off the half-back line for the Swans of 26, going at 26, 9 marks and 8 intercepts. Nick Blakey also had 26, going at 81% efficiency, 8 intercepts, 13 rebound 50s, a goal and 804 metres gained. So really driving it off the half-back line, doing the best he could for the Sydney Swans. For the Hawks, you had Amon with 27, a goal and 698 metres gained. Will Day had 26, going at 81%, 3 goals, 9 clearances and 6 tackles to take home the best on ground honours. He was absolutely exceptional. Some of the things that I noticed during the game, I thought the Swans actually looked kind of average except for the third quarter, which then third quarter with the Blakey's run and Chad popping up here and there. But I thought they looked kind of average, and one of those reasons I think that possibly could be is for one of the men, Errol Gulden. So Errol Gulden's injury, I think, is going to prove a bit more crucial to what some people said. Yes, we know how good of a player he was, but I think people are going to underestimate the run he provides off that wing, can also go inside, but it's also his kicking ability, because I feel like the Swans, they were still not scared they weren't shirking away from taking that inside kick and taking the game on, but having the player with the likes of the caliber of Errol Gulden out with the run and his beautiful kicking really showed he's out how critical it can be for the Swans. So I'm interested to see if this will play a part going forward. We get it, there's only one game being played right now, but it's just one to watch. So as we'll talk about, we're going to discuss a bit later, so let's grab a bit of water. So I'm recording this on the Sunday, if you have it on Sunday night, it's here in Melbourne, so it was a 35-degree day. So it is quite warm, so the water is very necessary for this one. But Will Day, as I mentioned before, we were going to touch on, we never really seen Will Day hit the scoreboard as much, and that's probably something he's lacked in his career, other than getting his body right. We know that he goes down with injuries a lot, but he's always had the talent. But he's a good height. I believe he's 191 centimetres. So Sam Mitchell has put another feather in his bow and allowing Will Day to play out of the square. Perfect height for it, I reckon, and was dominant, kicking the 3 goals. He kicked, I think, 3 in the practice game as well. It was 2 or 3. I just got to turn my Bluetooth off there. That probably came through. Turn my Bluetooth off there. Sorry, I think that notification came through. Forgot my phone was connected to the Bluetooth. But, yeah, we've never really seen Will Day impact the scoreboard as such. And then to see him do that, him resting forward, Jai Newcombe coming out of the square at certain times, I thought was a really good move and something we can maybe look forward to in 2025 if Will Day can continue this, because he's definitely got a talent. But that was the question mark. 1, could he keep his body right? And 2, could he really go to that next step as a competition A-grade midfielder and impact games by not only getting clearances, but hitting the scoreboard? That's something where Sydney midfielders, even though they lost the game, they're not well known for. They're midfielders who kick goals. I think Heaney and Warner both kicked 30-plus last year, so that just goes to show. One question I had theory is, how long does McCartin last forward? I get it. It's one game, but he's your best key defender, and I thought they looked a bit lost about him. It leaves... Well, Lewis Malcolm was a solid season last year as a second tall, but it leaves a bit more of a role for him to play as that number 1 key tall. And although it didn't show as going by the stats on Friday night, does this make Nick Blakey have to defend more rather than allowing him to run off his man? So I'm just putting that one out there. It's one, Dean Cox has come in to the coach's role and decided that straight from the preseason he wanted Tom McCartin playing forward. Obviously, Tom McCartin did start his career as a forward before moving to back, where he's found himself a home there. Great one-on-one defender and intercepts the ball really well. So I'm assuming with his marking capabilities, Dean Cox wanted to use him forward. Not trusting fully Joel Marty and Logan McDonald there. Obviously, Logan McDonald currently is injured as well. Joel Marty also kicked the 3, but it's just one to watch. How long do they last? How long does this experiment go on for? Or is this not an experiment? It's just a given for the whole season. We mentioned the Swans kicking. And taking the game on. And I think, so Heaney, if I just pull up some of Heaney's stats here, and this is a podcast, what the best thing is, we can carry out like we're having a normal conversation. That's what I really like. So if I just pull up some of his stats here, I can go back. I don't know why the AFL app is here. So not working. So let's go back in AFL. If it works this time, hopefully. It says it's moving error. But Isaac Keane anyway, I'm pretty sure he had about the 20 disposals, not much over that. And the point I had down here was... you must play someone on Heaney at stoppages to limit his impact through the stoppages to burst away and really get that contested ball and get it out. But not just that, you must have someone ready to play for him when he goes down forward. So around the stoppages, it looked like they were mixing up between Newcombe. No, sorry, Connor Nash played a good role on him. Sorry, because Heaney being a bit taller. Connor Nash is 198 centimetres and he's a midfielder. He's an absolute bull. So they had that capability going there. And then when he pushed forward, Josh Battle actually took him. So they had the best of both worlds there, I thought, Hawks. So I think that's one thing that other clubs should be looking for. It. Have someone who can sit on him at stoppages and really make him accountable and not get an easy ball in there. But then when he pushes forward, you don't necessarily have to sacrifice that midfield. You don't have to sacrifice that midfielder who is playing on him on stoppages, but have a defender, as soon as he comes on, ready to roll over to him and playing him like he's another key forward pretty much. I thought he was okay, but one I thought just a slight watch on Barras. So obviously, if you watched the full Sweat documentary of the Hawthorns on 7+, you can see he struggled at the start to really fit in and find his way through the Hawthorn game plan. And I know David King has said it, and I somewhat agree too, because of the calibre of the key defender Jerry McGovern was. But I think Jerry McGovern really covered for Tom Barras a lot of the time. By all means, don't get me wrong, Tom Barras is a very, very, very good key defender. But I think having the likes of Jerry McGovern there really helped him. Now he doesn't have Jerry McGovern. He does have Josh Battle, but he's probably going to have to play that number 1 key defender, whereas... Even if he was playing the number 1 key defender at West Coast, Jerry McGovern was always there to help him. So he's got a bit more of a role, I think, now, being because obviously Josh Battle, really good defender, but he's not your I wouldn't say he's your number one key defender, like a Jerry McGovern to come back and help. He's definitely your second or third, but I feel like Josh Battle can play in all different sizes. So it's just a watch on Tom Barrass, but I reckon he'll build into it and be just right. But it was just a thought I had there, and I did hear David King talk about it as well. Connor, obviously former co-host, Connor put this one in here. He thinks Grundy is done as he was destroyed by Lloyd Meek. But I think he's gone a bit harsh there, personally. Grundy is getting older, and he definitely came in underdone, and Lloyd Meeks show how much of a big monster he is, and I reckon he's really ready to have a really big year. But Brodie Grundy needs to get his body right and get back to when he left. Well, he's obviously an All-Australian ruckman in his previous times at Collingwood. But the first year after leaving Melbourne, the first half of last year, I thought he was really good, but then fell away. So he needs to get back to that and find a way, because Lloyd Meek absolutely just dominated him. He kicked 2 goals himself, Lloyd Meek, and I believe, just off the top of my head, had about 37 hit-outs. So that was one there. And the big question I have here in the the statement. The magnet that Sam Mitchell is going to love having, it's his skipper, James Sicily. James Sicily has the potential, and I think this year will be labelled as the best swingman in AFL as we speak. He's a quality key defender, can take a good mark and uses the ball beautifully. But the fact that he can take a good mark and has played forward previously before becoming a defender shows when he went forward, he can take a really good grab, and he's a good set shot because he's beautiful use of the ball. So I think James Sicily has the capability to be the best swingman in the AFL. And Sam Mitchell has the luxury of just playing Sicily wherever he wants. Whatever the game scenario says, he can do with that. But not only that, I heard Sicily say he makes a lot of the calls too. When he feels like the momentum is going that way, he'll push himself forward. What a luxury that is to have for James Sicily and Sam Mitchell and Hawthorn Football Club. So I think James Sicily's capability of being the best swingman in the AFL is just a crucial player. And I love Kane Cornes. Just knock the cable a bit. I love Kane Cornes, love what he says, but he's got to be kidding himself if he doesn't think James Sicily is a top 50 player in the AFL. He's absolutely a top 50 player in the AFL. He plays back, he plays forward, and dominates nearly at everything. Well, I wouldn't say he dominates forward yet, but we've seen how he can impact a game when he swings forward from the defence. He's definitely in my top 50 players. Now we move on to the game that literally just happened, and it was GWS v Collingwood at NG Stadium, and bit of a dull game this, me being obviously a Collingwood supporter. We went down to the Giants by 52 points in the end. Giants 15-14, 104, defeated Collingwood 6-16, 52. Multiple goal kickers, Callaghan, Brown, Jones, Grzeski, and O'Halloran all kicked the 2. For the Pies, Mychik and Elliott kicked 2 each. Disposals, some of the GWS players dominated. Start off with Josh Kelly, 36 goal and 5 clearances and 8 score onwards. Finn Callaghan was exceptional, 33. My best on ground personally. 33 disposals, going 85% efficiency, and kicked the 2 goals. Had 7 clearances, 12 score involvements, and a whopping 730 metres gained. So really got the ball moving when he had ball in hand. Whitfield had 26 off half-back, going at 85% efficiency. 8 marks, 6 rebound 50s. And Ash, I thought, was solid too with 25 at 84% efficiency. 9 marks, 7 tackles, 8 score involvements, and 511 metres gained. Josh Dacos, of his new role, the halfback, looked to be all right there with 28 disposals, 6 rebound 50s and 548 metres gained. And for his first game for the club, Harry Perriman, I thought he was really good with 27 and 9 score involvements against his old club. Talking point I have for this game is Adam Kingsley mentioned in the pre-game that there would be a bit of aggression coming out to this game, and they were hoping to show a bit. And I think that was well on display. The Giants looked good. They looked quick. They looked quick. They looked tough, and they looked slick. Even with the key outs of the likes of Jesse Hogan up forward, they had to rely on Cadman. Although Cadman didn't hit the scoreboard, there were other people that got up there. Callum Brown, for example, he's not a key forward, but he's a high. He's 190 plus, so. He's a good one down there. I thought he was a bit stiff when he got dropped late in last year. I really liked Callum Brown. I love Darcy Jones as a small forward. He kicked the 2. Grzeski's a building process. He kicked 2. He only played, might have been 1 or 2 games last year. So and then James League played on debut, kicked his first goals into Tasmanian draftee. Was drafted 2023. Didn't play a game last year, but got his chance first round, obviously, 2025, and took it with both hands. Hit the goal early as well. Now, St Kilda Football Club. I can tell you why you didn't get Finn Callaghan. I'll tell you why Finn Callaghan didn't accept your offer. Because you offered him unders. The way he played there, give him $2 million. Just give him $2 million. He was like a Rolls Royce out there, moving it smooth, not only having 33 disposals, but going at 85% efficiency. He just dominated Collingwood through that midfield. Every time Callaghan had the ball, I'm like, oh, here we go. He just tuck it under his arm and he runs and carries and he really gets the ball moving. So St Kilda, do you want to know why you didn't get him? Because you offered him unders. Maybe come and get back at him with $2 million. Finn Callaghan is ready to take his game to the next level. Obviously, a young player still, third or fourth season coming into him. But I think he's ready to have a really big year and make a statement to what the type of player that everyone sees potential. What am I trying to say? I think he's going to have the season where everyone sees potential, but he's going to put the potential on show for a full season. I'm really excited to see that. And just a watch on Nick Dacos. Obviously, had a lower back. Looked like he was grabbing his lower back late in the second, going into halftime, and then was cramping through the groins, calves, anywhere through the legs, and just really couldn't run towards the end. Why Collingwood didn't sub him off, I don't understand. He should have been subbed off because as soon as you get that lower back injury, especially in those hot conditions, it makes its way down to your glutes, makes its way down to your hammies, and it just shuts all your legs down. So they should have went and said, all right, Nick Dacos is definitely not going to be able to, I get it, it's Nick Dacos, but when he went back out the first time, you saw he couldn't run, they should have just said, we're just going to have to put him on ice for the game. That's what should have happened, but they didn't. They stopped out Will Hoskin-Elliott and left Nick Dacos in the square, and I just don't understand why. So it's just a watch on Nick Dacos to see if it's just cramp and it was just the lower back and his legs just shut down because it was a hot day out there. But just a watch on that one there. Now, before we finish off, I just want to see if this is updated. Obviously, we've got our Up the Guts tipping competition going on. And if we just load this one up, here we go, competitions. Yes, okay. So we have a total of 17 members. So we got Basti, a former guest on the show, Ryan Bastnack. Big Pistol, that'd be Liam Drew. Chris is Chris Gleason. Connor was the former guest. Is this my? Yep. So you got Corey, it would be a brother. Della 99. That's my good mate Paul. Dos Miller. So Dos Miller is actually a guy I do commentary with for Out of East. Elaine there as well. We got Will, one of our former guests. My dad, Thomas Hodge. Will's dad as well. Good mate Logan. And Tommy from last year. Zach Wybanger. Myself. And also Wendy Diolton. That would be my lovely mother. So we'll just go over how we went this round. So just to reiterate what the competition is, it was a $10 entry and a winner takes all. But I'm also that's Supercoach. I'm talking extra on. So it's a $10 entry and a winner takes all, but obviously rounded up to the nearest 50 or nearest 100. So if we look at the leaderboard, pretty much every team that tipped 2. So that would be Chris Gleason, Tommy, Will, which is Fight Your Mate's dad. Corey got 2. So those 4 are all on top. And then the ones that got 1, Zach got 1. He got the Hawks right. 6, Hodgie got GWS right. Dossie got GWS right as well. Wendy got Hawthorn right. So 8, Basti got the Giants. Connor got the Giants. JD Hawks fan. Shout out to JD Hawks fan. I know Will stitched his dad up there. He got the Hawks right. Elaine got the Hawks right. And then Big Pistol, Logan, myself, Glenn, and Della are on donuts to start it. So that's just reiterate to start off going into round 1. Obviously, only the 2 games. On top of the ladder so far, equal first is Chris, Tommy, Will, and Corey. So congratulations to them too. And we'll look forward going to the next round when the real footy starts. We get some more games going. Well, thank you guys for listening. That wraps up the first episode back in the 2025 season. If you guys enjoy watching, make sure to leave a like and comment on the YouTube video and leave a comment and review on the Spotify and Apple podcast, wherever you're watching this or streaming this. Make sure to click the follow button if you're listening on Spotify and Apple podcasts. Turn the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. And leave a 5-star rating, as that's what helps get it out. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to click the subscribe button and turn the notification bell and leave a like and comment on this video if you like this. Well, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys then.